Hey guys, what's up? Nullrage here, and today we're taking a look at the next hero being added to Marvel Heroes, Winter Soldier. I actually haven't done much looking around at this character, so I'm probably going to be learning a lot with you as we go through it. Let's go ahead and hop in and have a look at his hero synergies here. Somewhere down here, we've got at level 25, he's going to gain 3% ranged power damage, and at level 50, you'll have access to 3% melee power damage. So he's based on his synergy, he seems like he's going to be a little bit of a hybrid, or at least have options to do either ranged or melee. Before we get started, keep in mind this is all recorded on Test Center, like most of my videos. So things will change over the next week. In fact, this is like the first day he's been on Test Center, so this is really early. So there's a lot that's going to change over the next week. So if you see something that doesn't sound right, doesn't seem right, don't worry, it'll get there. Alright, let's hop in and have a look at the firearms tree. Looks like he's got firearms, living weapon, and brutal combatant. So I guess we're going to have a lot of ranged attacks over here. We got a couple of passives and his sig over here. I don't know what this tree is going to be like. But over here we'll have melee. So let's have a look at the range stuff first. We've got the Glock 19. Physical damage per shot. It looks like it's just a basic ranged attack. Restore some spirit. Here's the animation on that. Another thing is a lot of the sounds for some of his guns and also his own voice has not been mixed in yet, so the sound levels on this and that might be a little bit different. So, personally, I think this Glock 19, I've never heard of Glock 19, I don't know, but it sounds a little heavy. But, cool attack. Alright, next up we've got Suppressing Fire. It's going to deal physical damage twice per second. It's got an ongoing spirit cost, ranged area attack. There you go. That's pretty cool. I really like those types of abilities. They're really good at like a hollow sim. I love taking these kind of things into hollow sim. They just clear out everything in front of you. Pretty cool. Next up, we've got the Scorpion VZ. I know nothing about guns. I'm going to tell you that right now, guys. I'm a sword guy, alright? You give me a sword, I'm in the right zone, but I know nothing about guns. Alright, this Scorpion thing, we got physical damage, 20 hits. It's going to deal damage per hit, base damage up to 40% to close targets. So the closer you are, the more damage you're going to deal. It's got a cooldown of 6 seconds and enhanced arsenal effect. High velocity rounds. Bullets pierce through enemies. Let's go over here and talk about. I think these are the two toggles that he's got in his tree: enhanced arsenal and bionic combat. One of them's going to increase the abilities of your ranged powers and give you some more stuff. We'll go over all that when we get to it, but just for now, these are toggle abilities. You toggle them on, and they give some of your skills enhanced effects. Pretty cool. There's one for ranged, one for melee, and we'll see what each of them do to each of the different skills as we go over it. The Scorpion he pulls out an Uzi and does a whole bunch of that is 20 hits very, very quickly. And let me go ahead and pull this on the bar. So when you've got this toggled on, enhanced arsenal, your attack, your Uzi, will pierce. There you go. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's toggle that off, and well, we may need it here in a second. There. Yeah, we'll put it there. Alright, 3-round burst, physical damage per shot, rate of fire. It is not a basic attack. It looks like the only basic attack he's got in this tree is the Glock 19. But let's have a look at the 3-round burst. There it is. That's cool. Pulls out an assault rifle. And of course, firing in 3-round burst is more precision. You don't just fire all willy-nilly. You gotta aim first. Alright. Now we've got the Relentless Pursuit skill. It's a passive effect mostly, but also has an active effect of a CC breaker. 15-second cooldown on that. It's going to give you some damage rating and critical hit rating and critical damage. All the things that you want. The damage rating is only when enemies are not targeting you. Now, he does have a lot of stealth mechanics, so you're probably not going to be the target of attacks, usually. Even with the melee tree, he's got a lot of stealth stuff, so that's going to be a very nice passive there. Flashbang Getaway. Here, speaking of stealth stuff, this is exactly what we're talking about. Stealth duration of 3 seconds, and I don't think it has a cooldown. You just jump backwards and go into stealth. That's really cool. In fact, you just use it like, yeah, you can perma stealth. You have to go backwards, but you can perma stealth. Totally legit. I got this. I'll just moonwalk to victory while invisible. What's going on with his gun right now? There's a little bit of a bug right now. He's holding a pistol like it's a shotgun or something. Alright, next up we've got the, what is that, Barrette? It's a M82A. Fire a shot from your monstrous 50 caliber sniper rifle to take down any target at range. It's going to deal some pretty monstrous physical damage. You also gain 100% increased damage while stealthed or invisible, or within 2 seconds of breaking stealth. In addition, when you kill an enemy with this skill, you'll go into stealth, or at least gain 3 seconds on a currently active stealth power. I don't know which one yet. I don't know if it puts you in stealth, or if you have to be in stealth and then kill something and then it increases your stealth duration. Not 100% sure yet. But I do know the enhanced arsenal effect will cause double damage. Cause the skill to do double damage, but it will gain a cooldown of 6 seconds. Now, the combination of double damage and the 100% while being on stealth can make this a very devastating ability. First off, it's got a interesting range on it. Let's go with that target. Way off there in the corner of the screen, you can barely see it. That's going to be our target. Let's see how close we can get and use this skill. There we are. That's like the edge of the screen. Alright, now if I back up just a little bit, I have to move the map to actually be able to target it. Oh, yeah. There it is. There's the range. So just a little bit inside the screen, and you're hitting targets. Now, I believe, yeah, you have to.
First, I need something to shoot.
Power needs a valid target. Now, I'm not sure I would keep that from a design perspective. I'd probably say, just allow me to fire this without acquiring a target. I'm not sure though. It might be, especially once it has the cooldown from enhanced arsenal, it might be one of those things that you don't want to fire it into a crowd. You want to know that you're going to hit the target you're aiming at. And there's the cooldown you can see from turning on enhanced arsenal. If you go into stealth, there we go, even harder it hits. I think that was like 28k up there. So yeah, coupling those two effects makes this a very devastating ability, and I like that. Alright, moving on to Living Weapon. Like I said, this houses a couple of his passives, also his SIG. Let's have a look at Underslung Grenade Launcher. I guess this is just like, on his assault rifle or something. It's an add-on. Physical damage, applies vulnerability, and if you have enhanced arsenal effect, it will gain an incendiary charge, which will deal physical damage twice per second for 6 seconds. Cool. Where did we put enhanced arsenal? It's right there. Alright, so here's the skill normally. Huge AoE, very blinding effect. Pretty cool. Alright, so if you turn on enhanced arsenal, then you're going to gain a damage over time effect with it. And if you're doing ranged, you're usually going to have enhanced arsenal on, is what I've picked up on. Alright, now, we've been talking about it a bit. Let's have a look exactly at everything enhanced arsenal does here. It's going to give you some damage rating to range powers. It's going to give you some damage rating for firearm powers when you hit with a brutal combatant power. Okay, interesting. You use a skill from over here, you get a boost to skills from over here. And then it also gives you that flat range damage increase. Here's a scaling on that. Final numbers, of course, on all of scaling for everything. It's not finished yet, so don't take this as, word of God. But let's see. It's also going to give you some spirit cost reduction for 4 seconds when you hit with a ranged power, and give you and your allies endurance. All in all, pretty cool power, I think. All right, let's look at its inverse here. Bionic combat. Enabled all bionic or enhanced bionics effects on your powers, and we'll get to those in a bit. It's also going to give you the inverse of that one, melee power damage, and when you gain damage rating for brutal combatant powers when you hit with a firearms power. When you hit with one of these, you'll gain damage to these, as opposed to this, when you hit with one of these, you gain damage to these. Pretty cool little powers here. You also get damage negation for 8 seconds, or 8% for 4 seconds. How does that scale? It does not scale when you hit with a melee power. So he will have a little bit of damage negation that will help him get up there in the melee and not get struck down. You and your allies also gain power. Cool. Now we've got double time. Now it's a travel power. What else do you say? Wait, that's not the one. That's not it. That wasn't it. Don't just ignore that. We'll edit that out. It's fine. All right, here we go. For real, this double time. This is pretty cool. I like this. Here, let me get zoom in a bit. There we go. I like that. It's not too fancy, but it's just as fast as some other people travel powers, and it fits the style of the character. I like that. Also, what's going on with his gun right now? Why is he holding it like that? Test center will be bugs. Alright, next up we've got the signature FM MK13. Despite its intended function of disabling vehicles, employ your heavily modified grenade launcher to cut down swaths of enemy targets. Physical damage can be activated up to 5 times within 8 seconds. It's got a cooldown of 4 seconds, and the damage scales with your ultimate. So there it is. It's on F. Alright. So, it looks like... How far does it go out? Alright, not too far. It's got a pretty low range on it, but you fire it out, and you can activate it up to 5 times. You're probably just going to want to use them all at once and get a huge bit of burst damage. But this is actually the skill that, if you remember in the Captain America Winter Soldier movie, this is the skill that Winter Soldier uses to flip Fury's car. He pulls out this special weapon that fires a skidding grenade that gets stuck to the bottom of the car and then explodes, flips the whole thing over. It was just an excellent scene, and I love to see it represented in game. We'll go ahead and use that skill one more time. And of course, the damage numbers are not finished yet, so we'll see what it scales like after the damage tuning pass has been done. Covert ops. Creep unseen through the battlefield, deploying deadly explosives as you prepare to spring your trap. Stealth duration 5 seconds, cooldown 10 seconds after stealth effect ends. Interesting. So the cooldown does not start until the stealth ends. And alternate effect while in stealth. Activating this power does not break stealth. You'll do a physical damage with bomb timer. I wonder, can I use this flashbang getaway in combination with covert ops? Let's put those. There we go. Alright, so what if I use flashbang getaway to go into stealth? Does this activate a cooldown now? Covert ops? No. No, it has no cooldown. So the cooldown associated with covert ops is the only time it has that cooldown is when you go into stealth. But what if I stealth? Now I've got the cooldown going, right? I'm gonna throw out some bombs here. Alright, it's hit that cooldown. What if I go stealth again? No, it's still on cooldown. It does not allow me to use the alternate effect, you know, while in stealth, while the skill is on cooldown. But if I stealth first, then I can throw out as many bombs as I want. And then I can stealth and bomb, stealth, bomb. Oh, that's pretty cool. You could stay perma-stealth with it if you got some spirit on hit, spirit return, some way of doing that. Then you could flashbang, 2 bombs, and then flashbang, 2 bombs, and you could just use that repeatedly, over and over and over again, while being permanently stealthed. That's pretty cool. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage though, so probably not the most effective strategy, but nonetheless, silent killer, pretty cool. Brutal combatant is the next tree here. We've got a basic shoulder check. It's a dash, whatever you want to call it, physical damage with a knockdown on it. Very similar to, now the animation doesn't look like it's quite done yet. The legs doing weird things, but very similar to Star-Lord. Star-Lord's dash is a very similar skill to this, and I like the I like that little, you know, bionic energy around his arm there. Dude, can you imagine getting hit with that? That thing looks like it hurt. Alright, next up we've got knife throw. Let's pull these out and put them on the bar here. Alright, knife throw is going to deal physical damage. Activating this power does not break stealth. Very cool. And it looks like enhanced. Oh, this one has bonuses for both of them. Both of these. So whichever one you can only have one on at a time. But this one will be able to benefit from both of these skills. Is there one of... I think there should be a skill in this tree. I think there should be a skill in this tree that has the ability to benefit from both. Because this would allow you, because it benefits from enhanced arsenal, let's say, you could then use knife throw, as the power that you use in order to gain damage rating with your firearm powers. And it would work very well. In fact, it'd be a great synergetic build there. Alternatively, it would be nice to have a skill for this one, for bionic combat. A skill over here that would get a benefit from bionic combat, that when you use it, you would get the bonus damage for brutal combatants. So that's, yeah, that'd be really cool. I'll bring that up in a feedback thread. Let's look at the actual effect though. Physical damage twice per second for 6 seconds when you have enhanced arsenal, and when you have enhanced bionic effects, bionic throw, power deals double damage, travels twice as fast, and has a 6-second cooldown. So both of them still very good effects. Let's have a look at knife throw. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. You getting all fancy with it? Look at him. I'm gonna get him turned around here. Here we go. What was that? What was that? Oh, that animation is sick. That is cool. Sorry, I'm geeking out over the animation. That's alright. Again though, here's the enhanced arsenal and bionic effects here. We'll use enhanced arsenal first. You're gonna show a damage over time effect applied with the skill. And if we have bionic combat, then the skill will... Oh, the animation changes quite a bit. So he takes the knife in his other hand, charges it a bit, and then throws it out. Completely different. That's cool. Did this one change the animation at all? Let's look. No, the animation stays the same with enhanced arsenal. It just gains the dot. That's pretty cool. Alright, next up we've got Bionic Haymaker and Dispatch. Bionic Haymaker is just your basic punch, physical damage. It's got a stun component on it, and it's a Spirit Spender melee punch. There you go.
Done.
It doesn't seem to have any sound to it right now. Now I've got a little bar filling up here. Anytime I use melee abilities, I'm gaining electric charge on hitting with melee powers, then expend the charge in a large burst by activating Arm Surge. Arm Surge is the last skill in the tree, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But anytime you use a melee power, you're gonna gain some of that extra charge to be spent later. Alright, Dispatch is next. Physical damage and 100% damage while stealth or invisible, or within 2 seconds after breaking stealth. In addition, you will go into stealth or gain 3 seconds on your stealth. I'm still not sure what that effect means entirely. If you kill somebody with this power. You will also gain a benefit from enhanced bionic effects. Bionic Leverage power deals double damage and has a 6-second cooldown. So if you have this on, this bionic effect here, here it is normally, Dispatch. Pretty simple. Let me get a stealth out here. Flashbang getaway, right? So we go into stealth and gain 100% extra damage with this attack if I could actually hit. There we go, 100% extra damage. Now if we double up, if we say Bionic Combat's on, now give me the flashbang, and there, huge slash. You got a lot of damage coming from this ability, and will live up to the name, Dispatch. It will clear out, non-boss enemies like that, and send you back into stealth after doing so. So you can just run around the battlefield, just yoink, yoink, yoink. That's going to be pretty cool. Looking forward to that. And now we've got Concealed Combat next up in the tree. Damage negated 8%, just completely passive. 1 point in the skill is all you need for that, so definitely 1 point in every build. Dodge rating. Dodge rating and 4% move speed for 10 seconds when you use a stealth power. And you're able to see enemies on the minimap. You've got an active ability here. You and your allies are invisible for 5 seconds. Allies cannot be made invisible again for 30 seconds. I think this shares that allies cannot be made invisible thing with Invisible Woman. How she can make the entire party invisible, and does maybe Nightcrawler and Emma Frost, I think, has a way of doing it. There's several characters that have this make allies invisible thing, and they can't be used all at the same time. Alright, so let's have a look at Concealed Combat here. Boom. That's cool. I like that. And you can use abilities like Dispatch or something like that. You get to attack during this stealth duration. That's the big thing. This is a combat stealth, not a let's go into stealth and then hit something and then we're out of stealth. This is a combat stealth, and while it is up, you are completely invisible regardless of what you do. That's very cool. Now, Bionic Shockwave, Bionic Surge. I think Shockwave, Surge is the one that uses up power. Shockwave here looks like enhanced arsenal effect and enhanced bionic effect. Okay, so again, it benefits from both. Maybe what they could do is keep bionic shockwave over here and like move knife throw over here. So then you've got, you know, one skill in each tree that benefits from both enhanced arsenal effect and enhanced bionic effect. Anyway, we'll see what it finally ends up with. Physical damage, cooldown of 10 seconds, and it looks like pretty big physical damage too. Slam your fist into the ground, stunning and damaging enemies from the ensuing shockwave. So it's got a stun component on it. That 10-second cooldown is pretty hefty, but enhanced arsenal effect will give you the rapid reload effect. Instantly refreshes the cooldowns on Scorpion and Barrett. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So you got your you automatically reload your sniper and your Uzi. Now this one's pretty low cooldown to begin with. Actually, they're both 6-second cooldowns. So that's pretty cool though, cause that is gonna hit hard, and if you can refresh the cooldown whenever you just by using this, you get 2 shots off in a row. Or maybe what if you use Scorpion and then you hit with Barrett and then you pop this and then use Scorpion and Barrett again, and by the time you've run through both of these, this has got like a 1.5 second sort of cast time, channel time or something like that. And then you're 2 seconds into your 10-second cooldown, so that'll be back up pretty quickly. You'll be getting off a lot of these 2 attacks with Bionic Shockwave here if you use Enhanced Arsenal. Now we've got the Enhanced Bionics effect, though, will cause the skill to gain Crippling Shockwave. Critical and brutal chance for this power increase by 10%, and enemies become affected by enemies affected become vulnerable. Okay, there we go. So it applies vulnerability, and it gains critical and brutal chance 10% if you have Bionic Combat up. And it already has some pretty massive damage numbers on it to begin with, so giving it 10% crit and brute, you're going to see some pretty nice numbers from this fairly regularly if you use it with Enhanced Bionics effect. Alright, now finally we get to Bionic Surge, the last skill in the tree that's going to dispatch all of your built up energy here. Gain electric charge hitting with melee powers, then expend the charge in a large burst by activating Arm Surge. Let's go ahead and use this Bionic Shockwave to gain up the final bits of that charge there. Boom! Very cool, very cool. And now let's have a look. I'm gonna turn off Bionic Combat here, because I want to see what it's like just without Bionic Combat. It's got a passive effect, gain, okay, yeah, that's the passive effect right here. We see the bar. And the active effect is just energy damage, electric charge, cost 12, and a cooldown of 5 seconds. And, oh, that's pretty cool. Now, when you have Bionic Combat up, it looks like overcharge. Melee strikes generate twice as much electric charge. So I guess this, if you have Bionic Combat up, and you have a point in Bionic Surge, then your melee attacks just always generate more stuff, I guess? I need this skill. There we go. Let's see, how many hits does it take me to get to? Oh yeah, oh yeah. When you have bionic combat up, you're gonna generate far more electrical charge just passively, whatever you're doing. And then you're gonna use it on bionic surge here. Oh, that's cool. Sort of like very similar to, I guess, God Blast on Thor, or Anti-Force I think it's called now, where you just like anything on that side of the room, it's dead. So pretty cool ability. Now we've got Shock and Awe, and it's gonna live up to the name. It will shock and awe you. Call in and board an air asset to lay waste to the battlefield from above. This is ultimate, and it's freaking amazing. I've seen it. I haven't used it yet. Physical damage twice per second. Damage negated 100% while channeling. It's got a 12-second channel duration and a cooldown of 10 minutes. Here we go. You ready for this? I hope it doesn't lag. I'm gonna like use some attacks, just get any latent lag that might be waiting for this skill. Here we go. All right, pay attention. Oh, that is so amazing! I can even go over here. Like, it's 10 times better than like Nightcrawler's ult, because I can just move over here. That is so cool. I don't know what's going on right now. I think the animation lasts a little bit longer than the damage does right now. But that, oh man, that ultimate is awesome. Alright, so you hop on board like an attack helicopter or something, and you just start obliterating enemies in front of you. Very cool ability, and I think it ties the kit together very nicely. All together, Winter Soldier gonna be a very fun hero. Should be launching in, I don't know, a couple days, probably on Friday. It's usually Thursday or Friday when we see things go down. But we still got several days in Test Center, so if there's, damage tuning's got to get done yet, and a few skills here and there. So make sure to let your feedback be known. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Probably going after Captain. Captain's got a little bit of a review coming up. So the next video will be covering the changes to him. And I'll see you there. Until then, take it easy. Have a good one. Peace.